Hey there, in this video, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step tutorial of every single step of our process for eyebrow lamination. Our client has great eyebrows. Here's what she looks like before the brow and V-brow lift, but they are patchy and thinner than she wants, and she wants to smooth them out, and we're gonna do all of that with the eyebrow lamination today. The first step in the process now is going to be to go ahead and apply the lifting solution. So this is the perm solution that we're going to use to smooth out and lift her eyebrows. So we're going to take a disposable lip gloss applicator and carefully brush and lift all of those eyebrows up. And you want to make sure you're coating all of them. And if they have rows of brows, one tip is to make sure you go through each row and kind of lift them step by step so you get an even lift. Once you've covered the entire eyebrow on one side, you're going to come to the other eyebrow and we're going to go in and apply the solution in the same way to make sure we coat all of those eyebrow hairs, even the little babies. And you'll note we're doing this before we wax. So we want to make sure we do this step first, and then later on in the process, we will go ahead and clean her eyebrows up. Next, you can take a mascara or spoolie wand and you're going to carefully brush and lift their eyebrows up so that they can begin to set in the lifted position. And then we're going to apply the clear plastic wrap and let that process for the processing times in your manual. Now, halfway through the processing time that you have followed per your manual, you are going to lift the plastic wrap up and check on how your brows are looking. So you can carefully take your spoolie brush and brush the brows to make sure that they're nice and smooth. They should be more malleable at this point, so you can begin moving them into the position that you want and making sure that they look nice and lifted and even. We want to make sure we're not creating any gaps. And then we'll go ahead and put the plastic wrap back on and finish our processing time. Now that that time is over, we're going to remove the plastic wrap and carefully continue lifting the solution onto the brows, making sure they're nice and evenly separated. And then we're going to go ahead and remove all of the solution with a slightly damp cotton pad. Now let's go ahead and have a look at how she looked before and how she looks now after just one step of the process. Her brows are already nice and smooth and lifted. And now we're gonna go in and apply the neutralizing cream. So this is going to set her brows in place and also stop the perm process from continuing. Now we'll place a new piece of plastic wrap onto the brows so that we don't get perm solution in there, and set the processing time. Halfway through, you can take it off, go ahead and give your brows a brush through and see if they are all set, nice and smooth. But we're just making sure again that we're putting them in the place that we want. If we don't want them to be too straight, which is typically the case, we're gonna try to bend the brows to the sides so that they look nice and smooth and rounded. Once our timer has expired for the neutralizing lotion, we're going to go ahead and remove that again with a damp cotton round and brush her brows, again setting those in place. And we're going to have a conversation about shaping, because at this step of the process, we're going to go ahead and do waxing and clean her brows up. So that's what you see me doing here with our client. I will point out that she has sensitive skin. She knew that coming in, that she might get some hives from just processing and having the solution and us rubbing on her brows. So you will notice that her brows are pretty red, but that's actually pretty rare. Most people don't experience that kind of redness or any aggravation whatsoever. But if it does happen to you, you just want to be mindful of it, take your time and keep an eye on it, and just let your client know that they need to really baby their brows until the redness goes away. Next, if you're going to be tinting your client's brows, you would do that step at this point. You always want to tint after you process the solution, because otherwise the processing is going to remove the tint from their skin. So that's what you see us doing here. After the tint has been applied, we'll go ahead and wax. And that's so that you can get their brows nice and crisp and clean and get all the wax off of their skin in a nice clean line. So that is what we are doing at this point. After you have completed all of the shaping steps of the process, you're then going to go in with your third and last step, which is your Nourishing Cream, to moisturize the brows and lock that moisture in place. So that's what you see me doing here. It's also your last chance to kind of place the brows in the position that you would want, because your client's not going to touch them for the next 24 hours or so. This way they lock into place for a couple of months.